Hello and welcome back to Dorian's Corner, where I talk about all things pretty much domestic violence and different things along the way that I have done in my journey that has helped me. And I'm just hoping that some of these things you can use in your life. And if you are in a domestic violence relationship, or if you know someone that's in a relationship like that, we'll have the number for the domestic violence hotline below. I'll have that throughout the video. That way you can have that information, so you can have someone to reach out to, an agency to reach out to that can help you in your journey. Okay, so today I'll go over the letter G. So what I have been doing in the videos is going from A to Z to give you kind of tips and different things to get out of your domestic violence situation. And also it gives you like different things that I've went through. I just want to put my experience out there, so maybe it can help someone else, which is the goal of me even creating this channel. I want to decrease the number of people that's in domestic violence relationships to zero. I would not wish that on anybody. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I just wouldn't. So today I'm going to discuss G. So G is giving. So you give of yourself so much in a domestic violence relationship and you get nothing in return. You get more like financial hurt, you get more emotional hurt, you can get physically hurt, verbally hurt, so you just give so much of yourself trying to make that relationship work, trying to make that person happy, because sometimes you get to the points where you feel like it's you. Like if you just do something different, then they'll be happier and they wouldn't be, so upset with you. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't really matter like what you do. Like those people, they have issues, and some may be mental, maybe not, whatever it may be though, it is something that you are unable to help them with, So do not stand in a relationship like that just to see if you can like fix them, because when people get into relationships, they should pretty much already be fixed and healed. That's not the, your partner's job to fix you, and it's not your job to fix them. So in domestic violence relationships, you have a lot of the giving. You do a lot of the giving, but you don't get anything in return. Well, actually you do. The things you do get in return are not things that's good for you, which is why I'm saying you want to make sure you make that plan to get out of that relationship, because it does not get better, it gets worse. And it's depressing, and you have to sometimes be somebody you're not, and how tough is that to try to be somebody that you're not? You are the best you that you can be. Nobody else can be you, just like you can't be anybody else. But it's like when you're in a domestic violence relationship, they want to change you into somebody that you're not, somebody that you're not even comfortable with anymore, somebody that you don't even recognize. You don't recognize that person because that's not you. That's not the true you, and it's very sad to go through that. I went through that, being in that type of relationship to where I did not know myself anymore. I didn't. It's hard to explain how you can not know yourself, but if you are made to do things that goes against every pretty much fabric of who you are, before long you're not going to recognize yourself anymore. Your thoughts won't even be your own thoughts anymore. They're going to be their thoughts. They're going to be the thoughts that they would think. You start doing things and reacting the way they would react, because that kind of becomes your safe place, your safe space. So you do things that you would normally do. I found myself sometimes being mean, for no reason to people, because I didn't want them to keep conversating with me, because I knew that would be something that would upset them after a while, especially if it was someone of the opposite sex. I knew that would be an issue. So I've learned to like put this gate around myself pretty much and it made it to where I was not someone they would want to have a conversation with. I had to downplay my usually like bubbly personality because I knew I could not be that way, because that was not going to work for him. So I knew later we would get into an argument, or right then, they have an amazing way of watching out, looking out, and seeing if you are enjoying yourself too much, because if you are, they have a problem with that. And so I went through that a lot, just kind of giving of my time and of my space and of myself, to the point to where I felt like totally depleted of everything and anything. I felt just emotionally numb. I just felt like I just didn't know myself, that the person I was becoming, I didn't like her, because she was like him, and he was not somebody I wanted to be like. But I found myself being more like him than I was of myself. The one thing I did notice is that I have a very big heart. I'm like really compassionate. So I noticed that that didn't change in me, but I had to put on a persona like I didn't care about some things, only because I knew if I cared too deeply about things or about people, I knew that was going to be a problem for him. And he would say something about it or get upset, especially like, for instance, if something happened at school, like somebody got hurt or something at school, and I would tell him about it. Sometimes he would laugh and just like ask what the person do, or they deserved it, that type of thing, which is very just evil, and I wasn't that way. I'm still not that way, and I just couldn't, wrap my head around how someone could just be that way and just be okay with that, and being okay with making fun of another human being that was going through something hurtful or that had been hurt, and so I had to learn early on not to tell him about things that were emotional to me or that would cause some type of emotion in me, because I knew that he wouldn't share my feelings about those things. He wouldn't share my emotions about those things. Actually, it would just backfire, because he would make me feel bad about it, even feeling that way about it. And that's one of the things in the domestic violence relationship also, it's like you're giving of your thoughts and of your mind and of your heart, and yours is pure, yours is honest and truthful, and theirs is not. Theirs is just full of destruction. So you're giving of yourself purely, but they're just trying to take all that and just sabotage it and try to make you think that something is wrong with you, even though there's nothing wrong with you. That's the way God made you. And I wouldn't want to change that about me for the world. No way, no how. And so that's how you can know also if you're in a relationship, the domestic violence relationship, because they do not want you to be who you are down to your core. They do not want you to be that person, because somehow they have a problem with that person, which is kind of crazy, because they want to stay in a relationship when in a relationship with you, but then they have a problem with every part of you. It's just kind of sounds really crazy when you think about it. Things about you just aggravate them, just irritate them, it just bugs them, but they want to stay around you constantly. So it's just so many discrepancies in the relationship. It's just like, okay, well, you want to be around me, but clearly I annoy you to no end, so why do you want to be around me? You just think that to yourself sometimes, like, what can I do right? Because it feels like with them, like nothing you do is right, nothing you think is right. Any type of decision you make is wrong. So once you get to the point where you're ready to leave that relationship and get out of that relationship, it's going to take some time to get back to the person that you used to be, even with your thoughts and your actions and what makes you laugh, what makes you smile, things that make you uncomfortable. Sometimes you lose those types of truths about yourself because you haven't been yourself in a while. and you don't realize that, at first. So you really have to be aware that once you do decide to leave a domestic violence relationship, I'm hoping it's today. You don't want to stay in there a second longer than you already have. Once you do decide to leave that relationship, it's going to be a lot of healing that you'll have to do. It's going to be a path that you'll have to take of self-care for yourself, because you have neglected yourself, the same way I neglected myself. And one of the things I learned is to not do that ever again. So if you're with a partner that's pretty much is causing you to neglect yourself, either intentionally or unintentionally, that is a problem. That is a problem, and that should be a red flag for you, So if this video and anything I'm saying resonates with you or resonates with someone else that might be going through a domestic violence relationship, or they know someone that is, please share this video with them. Please, definitely. The whole point of me creating this channel was to connect with people like me that had this experience and that are, going through this experience, because it's tough. We need a community of people surrounding us to help us, because I won't say like right away I was ready to just get out of the relationship. Sometimes it's not that simple. I wish it was. I honest to God wish that it was that simple. But some of us, it was not, that simple. And I am amazed by the people who have found themselves in a relationship like that and just got right out. That is my hope for everyone. I will hope that no one would stay in a relationship like the one I was in, like a domestic violence relationship, where someone is constantly just tearing you down every chance they get. They don't want you to be really out and about at all unless they're with you, or they're constantly keeping tabs on you, like someone would do with property. You kind of want to know where your property is, just like you want to know where your car keys are at, you want to know where your house keys are at. Sometimes that's how they treat their partner, in a domestic violence relationship. The abuser treats you like you are property, which is why they get so upset when you have your own thinking, when you take your own actions. They just make you feel like you are incapable of doing that. And that's just not true. I mean, you're so much more powerful than you realize. They know that, which is why they targeted you, which is why they chose you to be with you, because they know your power. And sometimes people can see God's calling on your life. They can see your light, so they want to dim that. And it's just evil. It's just evil on every level to see someone shining so brightly, and they don't want anything more than to diminish that. And it's sad. It's very sad that it's people in the world that's like that, but there is. So my advice to you is definitely to contact that National Domestic Violence Hotline. Reach out to like the police departments, safe shelters, things like that. Safe people you consider safe, to help you and to explore those different options that you have. So one thing you don't want to think is that you don't have any options. You do. I used to think the same way. I thought I didn't have any options. But it's very hard when you're in that relationship, because you're just scared. You're terrified to make a move. So it really feels like you don't have any options, because you don't know any life, pretty much outside of being with them, because it just takes over your entire world. It takes up all your time. And if you're not around them, they are, like I said, keeping tabs on you. They want you to be back at a certain time. You can't really have any, what I would call free time. All of your time needs to be accounted for with them. And if it's not, they have a huge fit. So when you're thinking about like escaping and making that plan to get away from them, that safety plan, definitely keep in mind that they know your schedule. So if that's the case, you want to be very careful in planning. You want to be very careful in planning anyway. But definitely, just as much as they know you and your schedule, you pretty much know theirs too. You know more than you realize. If you start really putting all those things together, there's a lot. You know where they're going to be. You know when they're going to be there. You know the time they're probably going to be there because they keep tabs on you, so you pretty much know where they're at usually. So what I would suggest is when you're out and about, maybe doing something else that you usually do, that you, let's say you're going to get your hair done, you're in a hairdresser, you're by yourself. That might be the time to look up on your phone and look for resources and different things, and make sure to delete those search histories out of your phone, just in case they want to go through your phone. As I know, sometimes they'll do that. I have heard about things like that. I have been through that. And I have came back from places before, like he would ask to see my phone, and if I didn't want him to see it, then we got into an argument and a fight. So it was never just a simple, I want to see your phone, I need to use it to like call somebody. It was never that. It was always something very intentional, and it was just you know, a way to just control what I'm doing, is to just, you know, check on what I'm doing, see who I'm talking to, who I'm texting, just different things like that, to where, I mean, it's just insane, because they want to know every move that you make, which is just insane. It's no peace there. It's constant chaos. It's constant stress in your life, and you don't need that. You really don't need that, because life itself can cause you stress. So you really don't need the added stress of having a partner like that. You don't deserve that. You know, you are a human being. You deserve to be treated like one. You deserve to be treated the way you want to be treated. So if you're with somebody that's not doing that, don't just force it. Don't just stay in a relationship because you want to be in a relationship. You need to be in one that you're feeling loved, you know, and that you love the other person, that you can thrive. You know, you can thrive together. You can build something together. It's nothing you're going to build in an abusive relationship. Only thing is you're going to build up tolerance to the situation. And the longer you stay in it, the worse it's going to get. The more pain is going to follow. You know, and you definitely want to avoid that. I mean, it's already been painful enough. Trust me, I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. And definitely, if you have questions for me, if you need certain advice, that may be something that I may not be saying on here, definitely reach out to me in the chat. I will tell you all the information I have. If I do not have it, I will find it for you. No matter where you live, it doesn't matter. I will definitely help you. I am willing and ready to be the resource of any sort that you need to help you through this. And like I said, domestic violence relationships are not just females. Abusers are not just females, and victims are not just female. I mean, they're all races, all genders. I mean, it just goes across the board, all ages. So definitely do not think that I'm just saying that one day you can just get up and walk out, which you probably can. Some people have. So I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. So we have people like that also that's listening to the station. Please put that information in the chat as well, because your story may help someone else. Your advice may help someone else, you know, because we all need that. If you can put that in the chat, I would be sure to share with other people that may not have watched this video. I can share it other ways. But please definitely put that in the chat so we can help each other, we can heal each other, we can watch each other grow and thrive and be the best version of ourselves that we have ever been. And just as soon as you can get out of that relationship, you will see how life would just take an amazing turn for the better. Will everything just fix itself overnight? No. I mean, I would love to say yes, that would be the case, but that would be very unrealistic of me, so I'm not going to say that. You have to think about it. The situation didn't develop overnight, so the healing will not be overnight. But the first step in the healing process is to leave. Okay? It's really hard to heal and still be in a toxic space like that, because you need a mindset shift. You need a lot of different shifts. Your environment needs to shift. You need to change some things, you know, and get out of that place of instability and toxicity, so you can move on into a better and brighter future. And I want nothing more than wonderful things for you. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. All the people that are rooting for you deserve it, and that includes me. I am definitely rooting for you. I want you to just do everything you will want to do in life and reach out for help when you need it, as you need it. We all need help at some point in our lives, even if it's not a domestic violence situation. Sometimes we still need help. We're human beings. You know, we're not made to just kind of make it and navigate this world on our own. Okay, we need each other. And when we see someone is in a relationship like this that is just tearing them down, we don't want that for you. You know, we don't want that for anyone. You know, I didn't wake up and dream of ever being in a domestic violence relationship. I never thought that would be my reality. But there I was, smack dead in the middle of a domestic violence relationship with someone that was 5 years my senior. I was 14 when it started. I'm not sure if I ever talked about that on here, my age. You know, I was very young, so he was in a position of basically trying to mold me into whatever he wanted to be and whoever he wanted me to be, which is why I cringe at the thought of like younger girls dating older guys, because for one, he was way too old for me, you know, and also a lot of times they do that because they want to manipulate people, you know. And is that always the case? No, it's not always the case. But our age difference meant that's not somebody I should have been dating anyway, legally. So it's the reason we have laws. There is. They're to protect us, you know. So that is a story for another day, but I will definitely be praying for you, definitely to get out of that situation, or if you know someone that's in that situation, I'll also be praying for them and everyone that is listening to my channel, everyone that is coming on, looking at the videos. I wish nothing more than to inspire you to live your best life, and that starts with getting out of that type of relationship, any type of relationship that's harming you. Okay, so definitely, if anything I'm saying resonates with you and you want to make sure you keep up on the videos and the progress that we're making, definitely subscribe, share, save these videos, and just share them with other people and subscribe to my channel. It definitely helps me to grow. It helps the video to grow. It helps the channels to grow. That way we can help more people in this domestic violence community, and we can lessen the numbers of domestic violence victims. We want to make survivors. We want to have people thrive in their lives. We want people to be loved the way they want to be loved, and not have to wake up every day wondering if it's going to be their last day. Because believe it or not, people have not made it in some domestic violence relationships. They did not make it to tell the story about what happened, how it started, and what made them stay, what made them leave, how many times did they try to leave, you know, because some people, it has actually costed them their lives. Costed them their life. And it's very sad to even think about that. But anyone that's been in a relationship like that, you know, that could have been you, that could have been me, you know, that could have been any one of us. You know, and then our loved ones, because, you know, sometimes they take it out on our loved ones when we leave them, you know, or when we are even discussing leaving them. You know, like I said, that safety plan, you need to make sure your exit plan is safe as it can possibly be, to where you minimize yourself getting hurt, and you minimize your family or friends or anyone that you care for, anyone that know about the situation. Because a lot of times when that person, when your abuser knows the people that you talk to and different things, they may go to them for answers. So when you do decide to do your safety plan and exit plan, You should not be telling people where you're going, because you never know if they are able to get in contact with that person. Okay? I'm not saying that to scare you, but you do need to understand that they can definitely try to get in touch with people, especially, like I said, we were like property to them. So it feels like they're losing control of their property, and they do not like that. So just imagine how abusive they are when you're with them. So just imagine how they feel if when you leave, Not to say that you shouldn't leave. You should absolutely leave. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm just saying, reach out to that domestic violence hotline. They can give you tips on leaving, because everybody's situation is different. No two situations are the same. Okay? But I believe in you. I have faith in you. And I know you can make the right decision. You can make the right choice. It is time. It's been time. It's been time to reclaim your life and get out of that situation. Okay? So until next time, I will be praying for you. I love you. God loves you. Our community of domestic violence survivors and all of our families and everyone else is rooting for you. We can't wait to see you on the other side of this situation. This too shall pass. But it's going to take you to make that first step in getting out of there. Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video. Thank you.